going into a crime scene, guys. And he's walking down the sidewalk and he's instructed by an officer that he can go over to where the officers are. So he walks over there, and then the officers point to the tape on the street, and they say, one of the officers says, "Hey, you're inside of a crime scene." Another officer thinks that he's not inside of a crime scene, so nobody really knows where the so-called crime scene is. He pops off to him, gets him upset, and he ends up getting arrested. That's in the long form. That's what happened to Chille. Now, yeah, exactly. Another BS arrest, right? So basically, Chille doesn't really have anybody supporting the Delete Lost channel besides Brian. So I volunteered to come on just to kind of tell you what's happening because I'm visiting him at the dungeon about once a week, and just to share what happened while I was there with you, to kind of tell you what's going on. And we decided that like once a week, I'll just come on and tell you what happened at the jail. So first of all, a lot of people don't know who I am. I'm Mike Leland. I am a California and Texas personal injury attorney. And the work that I do here has nothing to do with what I do at my firm. I'm just helping out. A friend of mine got locked up. Now, at the very first part of the video, you can see I had a lot of technical problems, so please forgive me. I had all these videos queued up and all these things that I wanted to show you about the second arrest. But what I'm going to do is just really quickly go to that second arrest and show you through the GoFund. There it is. Okay. I'm going to get like towards the very end to kind of get you an idea of what happened to Chille in this particular case. Really quick here. Let me just share this with you guys. Boom, boom. All right. So next time we won't have these technical glitches, I hope, but we're going to go ahead and play this for you so you get an idea, a flavor of what happened. So you can kind of see in the background there's a little bit, you see the caution tape. So that caution tape was designed to keep people out of the streets, okay? And not even off the sidewalk. Literally, it was up against the sidewalk where you could walk down the sidewalk. So as you look, that's Charleston Avenue. So that's a main street in Nevada. You see the sign, it says Charleston. So there's caution tape going down that way, not behind Chille, right? Like, it's just ridiculous what these guys are doing. So Chille gets permission from these traffic cops earlier on in the video to come on and go in and go around so he can avoid going into the crime scene area. So he goes around, he comes up behind these officers, and he's filming their bikes and stuff. And then they come up to him, immediately start demanding that he get away and back up. And he's saying, "Look, I'm engaged in a First Amendment protected activity. Leave me alone. I'm not causing any problems with you." And so here we go. We'll play this for you.
He's dead, sir. Is that enough emergency?
Well, where are they at?
Let's go.
Where are they at? Where are they at? Are they right here?
Let's go, sir.
Am I causing any problems here? The only thing you're doing is losing your cool, acting like an idiot. You're acting like a dunce cat.
Let's go, sir.
You're on camera acting like a moron, bro.
Come on, sir.
No, look at this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 cops. For what? What good's it doing? What good's it doing? You don't need that for me. Go back to where you're going. I'm walking. I'm walking right now.
You're trying to.
Now this guy's trying to be violent.
Let's go, sir.
Now they're pushing me. Look at their hands all over me. Look at that.
You're right.
All
we're escorting you.
Don't fucking touch me, boys. Don't. What are you?
So hopefully you guys didn't hear any feedback, but that was the arrest. That was basically what happened. So Chille gets the golden handcuffs, they put the torture cuffs on him, they lock him up because they're alleging that he was basically in a crime scene area, but he wasn't. And there was a dispute among the officers at the scene as to where the crime scene actually was, but yet he was still arrested. And so there seems to be a mad dash right now to silence anybody who supports the First Amendment, to silence these cop watchers, these auditors who go and film at post offices, paint them as domestic violent extremists or whatever it might be. And law enforcement is going along with the program, and I believe they're pretextually using things like Penal Code Section 148 and obstruction, basically to chill people from exercising their First Amendment rights of filming and police officers accountable. And we know that law enforcement has had a history in the past doing questionable things, turning off their body cams at the right time, or footage mysteriously disappearing from their body cam footage, et cetera, et cetera. So we know that that happens quite a bit. And the idea behind the auditors and comptrollers, whether you hate them or whether you love them, is they're testing, sometimes with extreme sort of attitude, these law enforcement officers to hold them accountable, to hold public officials accountable. So that's kind of what's going on. And now, when these officers get out of line, we're finding now that the courts are going to uphold the officer. Now, in Chille's last case, we saw that the footage that Chille actually used in that arrest was never even entered into the record. So you can even see that even if you have the best intentions and you're the best auditor in the world, if you're not synced in with your legal counsel, things are going to get missed. And so I really encourage all of you to learn the law and study the law a little bit before you go out there, and make sure that you already have a lawyer lined up, because what you're engaged in is an activity that's highly likely to get you arrested, even if you're totally in the right. Now, a lot of people disagree with the way that Chille sort of confronts the officers, but see, I don't, because I think that you have to be confrontational. These are public servants, and we need to test them, because what if it's a family member of yours who has a mental condition, or somebody maybe drank a little too much? If you have these guys trained like Rottweilers, dropping people on their heads as soon as someone pops off to them or doesn't make them feel like they're in charge, that's a problem. That's a real problem. And so I applaud people like Chille who give a little bit of attitude and put these law enforcement, police officers, public officials, hold them to account and make them sort of understand that they're the servants and not the master. So that's what I have to say about that. Let me just look in the sidebar here and see what's going on, you guys. Yeah. So now, also keep in mind, law enforcement officers have the right to lie to people. So the Supreme Court has upheld law enforcement officers lying to people. It's very common. It's totally normal. But if you lie to an FBI agent, you can go to jail, I think, for up to 3 years. Now, lying to street cops, you can go to jail too, but it's a little bit different. You have to lie about something, I think, that's more material. But each law enforcement agency and municipality is going to be a little bit different. Now, I'm just looking in the sidebar here because I want to be able to answer any questions. Man, what a bummer! I had this thing all set up to have all the videos playing, and here I am fumbling around at the beginning. But okay, so the whole point of this exercise, guys, is to tell you about my experience with Chille in jail. So I hung out with him. You go up there. I'm not going to tell you too many details, but you go up into a room where you meet with your client. And since I represent Chille in other matters, again, I'm licensed in California and Texas. I'm not helping him in his Nevada case. I'm just meeting with him because he doesn't have anybody else that can. And I've got stuff that I'm doing with him. So it's a good thing. And I said, look, if you want, I can share to Team DLZ what's going on, as long as it's not confidential stuff. And so what he wanted me to share with y'all is he's very, very big now on the idea of segregating prisons. And I don't mean the old segregation where you're separating black people from white people and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about violent offenders being separated from nonviolent, and then the crazy people who talk to themselves, who are kind of nutty. They should not all be into the torture where everyone's just mixed. That's totally insane. And by the way, we have over, I think, 500,000 nonviolent offenders in our prison system. And so one of the things that Chille is really big on is trying to find a way to rehabilitate people who may have done things that go against the policy, or maybe are bad for the public, but yet are nonviolent. And so one of the suggestions that he had and that we're going to explore are a form of a halfway house, for lack of a better word, where nonviolent offenders can go, and there's cameras everywhere. There's chain link, and it's like a voluntary thing. So you're not locked up with a bunch of crazy people trying to kill you. And it gives you the ability to still work. Remember, when somebody gets arrested and they get thrown in jail, it's a real problem. You could lose everything. You could absolutely lose. You could lose your job. You could lose your wife. You could lose your kids. I mean, not bringing in income when you're living hand to mouth is devastating to a lot of people. So a nonviolent offender, rather than locking them up and just making them go crazy, give them an opportunity to sure be segregated from society at large, but still be able to support their families and serve their time without being locked up with crazy killers and psychopaths. Many people believe that Twin Towers in Los Angeles is more dangerous than state prison, and that's a county jail. County jails are freaking hellholes. It is a dungeon. It is torture. I visited many prisoners in jail, being a lawyer and having done appellate law, and it's no fun. It makes you sick to your stomach, and it's okay to be a lawyer and still care about human rights and natural rights. And so that's why I'm here, because I see an injustice. I see that people like Chile, who test the system, who try to hold our public officials accountable, they're the ones who go down. That's why you guys need to support him, because he's one of the few people who's actually standing up for your rights. So that being said, Chile has a legal defense fund, and I put the link in the sidebar. It's also in the description of the video, I believe, should be. And I would like it if you would donate some money. We need to raise about $30,000. So I definitely recommend. Well, yeah. So let me see. Rick Jones, he did say something. The Chile's not testing. And look, I got to agree with you. I mean, he is a really bold guy. To me, he reminds me of a modern day William Wallace. I know a lot of the people who like to flamethrow have a lot of negative things to say about him, but I don't feel that way. I think that we all have our own issues, but I think at the end of the day, if you judge Chile and what he's doing for the community at large and helping people hold officials accountable, helping fund people's criminal defense cases while he's still locked up in jail, barely able to defend himself, those are all very commendable things. So I see that he's put his money where his mouth is. And again, I'm not like, I do car accident cases. This is not what I do for a living, guys. I do stuff like work comp and personal injury law, but I'm also a natural law guy, and I believe what Chile what is good. So what I'd like to do is sort of play the video for you of what happened, and then I want everybody to give me a bunch of ones if you're gonna donate a couple bucks to Chile's fundraiser. So I'm gonna put the fundraiser really quick up on the thing, because I really want you guys to consider throwing them a couple dinars. And this is gonna be for the second arrest where he was in crime scene tape allegedly, and then, of course, some officers think that he wasn't, and we're trying to figure out why was there even an arrest when there's a dispute as to whether or not Chile was or was not, in violation of the law. That there's no way that you could ever convict somebody based on that, so there's that, and then we're gonna go ahead and play this video really quick. And we'll start it from the beginning, and then I'll sort of interrupt and talk about it as we go on. Hopefully
Jim, and I saw something down here open up for me.
let me know if you can't hear this, by the way.
I just wanted to begin filming here.
Give me some ones if you
as
can hear the
quickly as
video.
possible.
Oh, look at that, Joy Hawk. Thank you so much for the super chat. Chile needs to learn to shut up in court. Well, I appreciate that, Jay. Got a bunch of ones, so it sounds like you guys can hear. That's good. If you look at the sidebar there, you will see that created. Chile's contact information. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So just let me know you can hear everything, guys. Give me some ones that you can hear Chile narrating this video. This is what this fundraiser is for today. So I basically just wanted to quickly differentiate what's going on. So to give this some context, because I invited a bunch of people here today, to give this a little bit of context. So Chille is kind of like a watcher, kind of like an auditor, but he's an activist more than anything, in my opinion. And he'll drive around and look for the police engaged in law enforcement activities, and then he'll go and he'll journal it, he'll film it. And usually he won't say a word, but the police will approach him and start asking him for his press card and his credentials. And he basically tells them to F off. It's none of their effing business. And the police obviously don't like it. But again, that's the purposes of testing the government. That's why we have the First Amendment. And so that's what he does. And you may not like the way he does it. Some of you love the way he does it. I would do it differently, of course, than he would, and he would do it differently than me. But what he's doing is something very brave that nobody else does. And I ask you to have an open mind and try to understand that he's trying to hold public officials to account. And when they lose their temper and get crazy, the crap out of people, well, that person they're beating on might not be Chille next time. It might be your son or your daughter. So I want you to watch this. I've seen and I've handled a fair share of police brutality cases. And cops always lie. Always. They always. There's no question about it. Keep on watching the video. So you kind of get the idea. I mean, you give me a bunch of ones if you want me to play the whole video. It's only like 10 minutes. If you want me to not play the video, give me a bunch of twos. Oh, thanks this day and age. I appreciate that. Okay, so we'll keep playing it. Okay, so you see, okay,
You know what's
the
going on?
journalist. So Chille's another journalist, right? It's outside the crime scene tape. Now you can see that there is tape going across the street because that's somebody died over there, I guess, by where that red light is. Probably a motorcycle accident, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so you see he got out of the street. Saw that he got out of the street.
Hey, once you pass this brick wall, just cut through the parking lot. Thank you.
So far, so good. No issues. Just keep an eye on the crime scene tape. See how it's over there? It's blocking the street. He's walking up to some motorcycle cops. And see how the tape is tied to the tree running parallel with the sidewalk.
Hellos for suckers.
Cop doesn't say anything. Doesn't care. Another one does. Motorcycle cops are known for being more aggressive. Put it in the comments if you think motorcycle cops are generally more aggressive.
You could just do your job, mind your own business. That's what you could do.
Excuse me?
I told you, I would say it again, you could mind your own business. I'm doing my job. I appreciate your time. But just, if I was you, I'd just shut your mouth so I don't put you in your place. That's what I'd do if I was you. I'd shut up. If I was you. Unless you want to look like an idiot on YouTube.
We're still pretty close to the road, so let's push this out a little bit further.
If you
Yeah.
just keep going that way for me, I'm okay if you stay
No, no.
but video over there. For
Don't
me,
tell
okay?
me where to stand. I'm a constitutional law scholar. I'm suing you guys for $5 million. I'll sue you for $5 million more. You don't have a
Okay,
right
I'm
to
not-
tell me what to do.
I'm just asking you to
Shut
stand
your
over there.
piggish
We're
mouth.
still doing
Sir,
it.
do you
Don't
see the crime
approach
scene
me.
tape?
Shut your mouth.
Sir, do you see the crime
Shut
scene
your
tape over
mouth
there?
and shut your mouth.
You see the
I'm your
tape?
boss.
You see the tape
You
over there?
understand that?
Let's
Shut
go
your
back
mouth.
over
I'm
there.
walking down the street. Mind your own business. I'm
No,
just standing here.
this-
If you hadn't
it's fine,
approached me,
Sergeant.
don't come behind me, piggy. Okay. If
Okay, so I just want to just comment a little bit on this. So far you see that these guys just don't like it that Chille's there. And in my other video, we had a retired cop come on a couple days back, and he sort of talked about it. You know, they just don't want him there because they want to work on their reports. They want to be left alone. They don't want to have somebody swarming around them. So they're coming up with reasons to try to get him to leave because they just don't want him there. But lawfully, you can see that the crime scene tape was designed to block people from going into the opposite area of to where those cops are. It's obvious. And even a couple of the officers who are here aren't even sure about where the crime scene actually is. And so as a lawyer, that raises a lot of red flags for me because in a criminal case, you have to get a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt. And here, to me, it looks like the filing deputy is clearly, this is going to be another political show trial. The filing deputy, in my opinion, at the DA's office should have been intelligent enough not to file this. Now, granted, Chille's footage is probably better than the footage that the officers have. And the DA probably only has looked at the arresting officer's footage. And as usual, the footage that is exculpatory or helpful to the defendant usually gets recorded over or simply doesn't get provided. So I'd be willing to put money on it that that's what probably happened here. And that is another reason why I think it's very important for you all to always film the police and never fall for the, oh, we're filming it too, sir. You know, they'll give you that nonsense. Hey, I need you to come over here. I need you to show me this. I need you to do that. Well, you know what you need them to do is to leave you alone. So you plead your fifth, you plead your sixth, and you go on your business. And that's kind of what Chille was trying to do here. The problem is that Chille is not one to suffer fools lightly. This guy has gusto. That's why he's got almost 600,000 subscribers, because people respect a brave man who's willing to stand up and be a leader. And that's what I see him doing on behalf of a lot of people. And we tend to rally around people like a King Richard or the William Wallace personality type. And you can trash him and say that he's being uncivil, but I'm not hiring Chille to be my lawyer. I'm hiring Chille to be an advocate, to represent we, the people, as the leader of Team DLZ. So I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of this, and I'll cut off intermittently if I feel like I need to narrate.
If you hadn't approached me, I don't give a damn what you are. You're not a sergeant. Shut your mouth. I'm here doing my job. I'm a member of the press. I invoke my First Amendment right.
Okay.
Now, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right, so don't ask me another question. Take 3 steps back, gentlemen. I'm not your suspect. Take 3 steps back from me.
Okay, so there's crime scene.
Take
over
3
there,
steps
and
back
you're
from
standing
me.
in a crime scene now,
I'm
so you
walking
need to
down the
leave.
street. I can walk
Okay.
anywhere I want. There's
Sir,
not crime
this is
scene
the
right
crime
here.
scene.
The crime tape would be over here then, wouldn't it, dunce cap? I
Sir,
get you didn't graduate from high
There's
school,
crime
did you?
scene tape right there, okay?
We're just asking you to
I don't
step
give a
over
rat's
there.
ass what you say. Do you understand that?
Sir,
I don't
you
care
don't have
what
to
you
make
say.
this
I'm not
difficult,
breaking any laws. Make it difficult. If you'd
We're-
mind your own damn business, we wouldn't be talking right now. If you hadn't opened your mouth, I wouldn't be talking to you.
I'm asking
just
what you're
filming
doing,
this.
and you're okay to film.
I'm a member of
I'm
the
just
press. I
asking to
told
film
you I
over
invoke
there.
my Fifth Amendment right. You have a
your-
right to
you
ask me
have-
questions.
You have your.
I got the
film- you have
First
your
Amendment.
press
What are the
documents.
first 5 big freedoms of the
Where are
First
your press
Amendment?
You have your press
I'm a
documents, sir.
constitutional law scholar, you dunce cap. What's it like to be
Sir,
so stupid?
There's
I wonder
crime
what that's
scene
like.
tape right there.
What's
and
it
that's
like
where
to
you
be
need
a
go.
moron?
You walk
What's it like to
underneath-
not know our
sir,
rights?
You walk underneath
Correct
the crime
him.
scene tape already, sir.
Hey, correct him, sir. Correct this man. Explain to him
All right,
that he doesn't have a
this is
right.
your
Don't
word.
put your hands on him.
So you can kind of see like Chille's trying to get help from the supervising cop to explain to these other cops what's going on, but that's not getting him anywhere here. It looks like the supervising cop is the one who doesn't like him the most.
I've already walked
Are
across
you
the
gonna run
crime
over
scene
and grab
tape.
me? Are you gonna run over and grab me? Are you gonna run over?
Sir,
I don't. I'm walking down the street,
Keep
gentlemen.
walking,
I have a
man.
right to film this.
Keep
You
walking.
understand that?
I understand.
I have a right to
I'm
film
asking
this.
you to
If you
film over
touch me,
there.
I will sue you. I
You're
sue
more than
the cops
welcome.
every
tape
time.
already, sir.
I was walking down the street. I have a right to do so.
Okay, but we
There's
are
crime
telling
to
you
take.
that you need to
Your cop
continue
told me to walk over here. I have it on video.
Okay, and I understand that.
You're confronting me when you should be working on your job.
If you
Why don't you
stop-
shut your mouth and
let
step
me
away
talk
from
to
me?
you.
I'm just filming.
Let me talk to you, all right?
Who's the
let me-
commanding officer?
I am.
Okay, then step back from me and leave me alone. I'll stop
No.
talking to you and I'll keep walking that
Then
way.
Keep walking.
Then go that way. Get out.
Okay, so one of the things that you'll kind of notice here is that these officers are pretty smart. I mean, they're smarter than your average cops that you might find, you know, in maybe the Redlands, California, or something. I mean, these guys are not dumb. The cop is saying stuff like, "Oh no, it's totally okay for you to film," as he's trying to arrest him. So that's something that police are really good at too. Like when they're punching you in the face, when you're handcuffed, they'll keep saying "stop resisting" really loud, so everybody around can hear the cops saying "stop resisting," or they'll do stuff like that, you know, real loud, you know, "Stop resisting, stop resisting." It's like you're handcuffed and you're not moving as they're beating on you. Or in this case, "Oh, it's perfectly okay for you to film," as they're trying to figure out a way to arrest you. And I think most of us realize now that they just don't want to be filmed, and they're going to do anything they can to avoid you filming them. They don't want to be on YouTube. We even heard a judge say, "I don't want to be on your YouTube channel." So let me just keep on playing this bad boy.
Out of my face.
No, I will stand right here. You can keep walking.
You're not my boss, bro. I'm yours. You understand that? I make the rules.
I gave you a lawful
I'm
order.
your
You need
boss.
to keep walking.
I
If
am
you
walking.
do not, then you will
I'm
be
getting.
arrested
What's
for
your name?
obstruction.
What's your name and badge
I'm
number?
Sergeant Hutchinson.
Okay. What's your name and badge number?
Bruin 17149.
What's your name and badge number? Okay. What's your name and badge number? All right.
And
If
are
you would
being
just do
recorded.
your job, if you would just do your, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I did not. I have it on video.
I'm asking you
It's-
to continue walking.
It's recorded. It's recorded. I'm not going that way. I'm going that way.
You can't. That's the thing.
What is the crime scene about?
This is a fatal car accident.
Okay, so am I in any way near the fatal car accident?
You are.
Or are you just
on the
being a
wrong side.
dominating
No.
pig to me?
Please
There's
just
no
keep
reason.
walking.
There's no reason to
I have
try
not
to
been
detain me
disrespectful
or
to
arrest
you at
me.
all.
I've done nothing wrong.
All right, so do you guys see that Chille's done anything wrong yet? I mean, is there anybody in this chat room that's not pro Chille that can tell me what they think that Chille did wrong? Because when I look at the caution tape, I look at him getting permission from officers to go places and instructions on where to go. I'm not seeing anything where Chille's done anything wrong. I don't see him being in their 21-foot danger zone. I don't see there being an active traffic stop or anything that would require him to be away from something they're investigating. I mean, they might as well have a box of Krispy Kremes or Winchell's Donuts and some coffee. There's no legitimate law enforcement activity that would require him to be away from them that I can see. Give me a bunch of twos if you see something that looks like they were engaged in some kind of law enforcement activity that required Chille to stay away. By the way, pay very close attention to the confusion amongst the law enforcement officers and even Chille as to where the heck this so-called crime scene is, because he's being told it's in one place by one set of police officers, and then he's being told that it's in another place by another set of police officers. One officer even says, "Hey, we should move the crime tape back further to keep him out of here." So there, he's basically admitting that Chille is okay to be there. So I hope you all see the difference between a political prosecution and a real one. But when I was with the prosecutor's office, our filing deputies would not have filed something like this because of the chance of getting a conviction would be slim to none. But the difference is, guys, is that in California, misdemeanors are entitled to a trial by jury. In Nevada, apparently they're not, unless it's some kind of a limited situation where there's multiple misdemeanors that could get you over 6 months, I believe. So I just want you to pay really special attention. And you see the same thing with the Second Amendment cases where people will defend their homes, and in the blue states, the Soros prosecutors will immediately charge them with murder, even though it was obviously self-defense because it's political, because they don't like the Second Amendment. They don't want people to be able to defend themselves. That goes against a progressive value system. People being able to defend themselves is a bad thing. So let me Go ahead and playing this for you.
I haven't been disrespectful. There's no victim. There's no victim. There's no crime here. You're just being a dominating pig. Leave me alone. I have not been disrespectful. All I'm doing is filming. All I was doing is filming the bikes, man. That's all I was doing. And all I asked you was what you were doing. And it's none of your business. Do your job. You don't have to answer to you. You're not my daddy. No, I have the officer over there on video told me to walk this way. Go ahead and arrest me and find out how quick I sue your ass.
Sir.
Just do it. Okay, I have to walk the other way, so I'm going to be walking over here.
Go to the crime scene tape, sir.
Don't tell me what to do. Please go that way. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my boss. I'm giving you a lawful order. Let's start walking now. Let's go. We're going this way. Are you going to put your hands on me now? Leave me the fuck alone. Well, don't touch me, dude. I'm just standing here. I'm to where you need to go. Are you guys going to surround me? Leave me alone. I'm escorting you to where you need to go. There's no reason to do this. I'm not trying to fight anybody. There's no victim here. There's no crime. You're just trying to dominate another person. Just leave me alone. Okay, I can leave, but you don't have to walk up on me. Let's go. So what's the emergency? Is there an emergency?
Somebody's dead, sir. Is that enough emergency?
But where are they at?
Let's go.
Where are they at?
So what's the emergency? That's a good question. What is the emergency, guys? Do you see an emergency there that would warrant them trying to rush him away from their little powwow? Remember, Chille was ushered across into that area by another set of law enforcement officers. And the only dispute seems to be that they didn't like it that Chille was filming them. Even though, of course, they're saying you can film all you want, you know, the same spiel that they give everyone, but get back while I hit you in the head with my billy club. So I'm not saying that's what happened here. I'm being facetious, of course, but as a lawyer, I've seen it all. And Chille knows how to rub people the wrong way. And this clearly to me was a retaliatory arrest because he did not bow and kiss the jackboot of the thug. And give me a bunch of ones if you agree with that, because I think it's true. And you're not going to hear me cussing and swearing, or I don't have the same personality as Chille. I hope that you wouldn't want me to, because I am a lawyer. But I do care about people like Chille who stand up for their rights and support the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, who believe in natural law and don't believe in a great, all-powerful Leviathan government like Hobbes wanted, like the progressives want now. I believe less government is more freedom. And when you find more laws, you find great despotism. The greater the laws, the greater the chance of tyranny. So the whole concept of deleting laws is an amazing concept, which I support. And I hope that all of you support that. And I want you to give me a bunch of ones if you support that. And I want a bunch of OTVOs, guys. Give me a bunch of OTVOs. And I also want everybody to know I'm not being paid to do this. I'm not in business with Chille. I've helped Chille raise money. I visit him in jail because I want to make sure he's okay, because I do believe this is a very politically charged thing. And I'm doing welfare checks as well on him. And it's unfortunate that I couldn't get the ACLU involved, but apparently the judge is married to the president of the Nevada ACLU. So I guess since I'm not licensed in Nevada, the least I can do is make sure that he's okay and reporting back to you. So people who say, oh, you're in business with this guy, you're just trying X, Y, and Z, or you're trying to build your channel because you didn't have a strong channel. Well, you know, if somebody wants to subscribe to my channel because I support Chille, that's fine. But keep in mind that on my channel, I talk about other things. I teach people how to become a lawyer without law school. I go over things like political stuff, you know, like does Trump have a chance to win his fraud appeal? Can kids who were mutilated by doctors sue for, changing their gender when they were minors? And, you know, how would they handle that case? Do parents even have any rights anymore? I support things like homesteading and homeschooling. And, you know, I was a Marine, and I'm all about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and holding the administrative state accountable. So there's a lot of crossovers where I agree with Chille on so many things. But when you come to my channel, I'm not going to be doing constantly auditing and showing videos of cops beating people up. I'm going to be talking about the underpinnings of why the cops are beating people up. It's the politicians, all their stupid laws that they're passing to help these big multinational corporations destroy your life. I talk about things like labeling the foods where they're poisoning us. about how governors and politicians are going along with these big companies so they can put foreign substances into our bodies and try to shame us if we won't do that. And I expose that, how dangerous that is to our families, to a free, peaceable society, things like that. So please don't accuse me of being in this to try to make a bunch of money. I've never gotten a case from anything that I've done here to try to help Chille. Again, I do car accidents and motorcycle accident cases, and most of you guys aren't getting in car accidents, you're getting beat up by cops. Now, if it's the right case and you get beat up by a cop, I'll entertain helping you, or at least teach you how to set up your case properly so you don't get laughed out of court. That's what I don't want. I want people to take you guys seriously, because I do believe that First Amendment auditors are doing a very special thing. One of the greatest things you could ever do is hold public servants accountable. Super important, guys. And there's not a whole lot of people who are brave enough to do it. I need you guys to support Chille, because he's one of the few people who will.
Yeah. Where they at? Are they right here?
Let's go, sir.
Am I causing any problems, sir?
Let's go.
The only thing you're
Come
doing
on.
is losing
Let's
your
go, sir.
cool, acting like an
Sir,
idiot.
the crime statement
You're
right here.
acting like
Let's
a
go.
dunce cat.
Let's go, sir.
You're on camera
Crime
acting
statement
like
right
a
here, sir. Let's
moron,
go.
bro.
Come on, sir.
No, look at this. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 cops. For what? What good's it doing? What good's it doing?
Just go on
You
the
don't
other
need to
side
ask
of the
for me.
crosswalk.
Go back to where you're
You
going.
haven't left
I'm
yet.
walking. I'm walking right now.
Now let's
Oh,
go.
now you're threatening me with violence. Now this guy's threatening me with violence.
Come on,
Let's go, sir.
Now they're pushing me. Look at their hands all over me.
Let's go,
Look at
sir.
that. Look at that.
You're right.
All-
We're escorting you.
Don't fucking touch me, boys.
Let's go.
Don't.
Let's go.
What are you-
All right, so I'm gonna hear him.
We're not going to hurt you. Don't pull away. Don't pull away. You got 30 fucking warnings. You have to double.
And I think you get the idea. He's
I'm suing you guys. I'm not here.
going to get back to his shop.
I'm not here. Look at my thumb. You're putting 2 handcuffs on.
So let me get back over here. So you've seen the arrest video. You kind of get the idea. Dagnabbit. There we go. You kind of get the idea. So in this particular case, Chille was outside of a crime scene. There was yellow crime scene tape, and it was due to apparently a motorcycle accident in the street. It looked like it was on Charleston. If any of you have ever been to Nevada, Charleston leads from the Strip to the really nice part of Nevada, Summerlin. You kind of see it progressively getting nicer as the overhead telephone lines start to disappear, as they start burying them, and you get into Summerlin and it starts looking like Aliso Viejo or Mission Viejo down in Orange County. Very beautiful area. And there's no lane splitting allowed in Nevada, so the motorcyclists, man, especially at night, they get crazy because once the streets are cleared up, they can really get crazy on their bikes, and a lot of them do. And I've seen times. I used to be Rodney Dangerfield's limousine driver, so I got stories for you. But I've seen, Matt, like hundreds of these motorcycle guys get crazy, doing wheelies and cutting off traffic at night, getting wild. And so I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened here. Now, the problem is that Chille is a journalist, and people can say that he's not and ask for his journalism card or his credentials. But that's not how it works. In the United States, everybody can be a journalist. And it's sort of a slap in the face when you say that only someone who went to some far progressive university like Columbia, where they won't even let their Jewish professors onto the campus, from what I've heard, if you have people like that running around in charge, you got a problem. So what you're seeing is they're saying that only people like that are allowed to be reporters. Only if you went to a journalism school, like to get a job at CNN, which is basically run by BlackRock, right? For-profit news. So we've been brainwashed by the Rockefeller established public education system to believe that it can't be misinformation. The only real news is news from like Washington Post, billionaire Jeff Bezos' own private newspaper. Think about that. So these guys get to control the narrative, and they get to control what you get to think, because we know that search engines like Google will only let so-called valid or accepted news sources go to the top of the search engine results. And anything that disagrees with the official narrative, all their buddies that pay them a lot of money to advertise on their news stations or pay-per-click or whatever they're doing, that all gets buried on like page 500. So those people are the ones who are considered to be real journalists. So somebody like Chille, who is actually out there doing what the old journalists used to do. I don't know if you guys remember the old days. We had like real citizen journalists and investigative journalists. Like when 60 Minutes actually did some real investigative journalism, we had some really good guys in California who were really great investigative journalists. And, these guys were independent, man, and they were busting people left and right. Well, now you see those very same types of people, they're all bought and paid for by the administrative state in this sort of partnership that they have with the news media. So you've got the government now partnered up with the press and with the Silicon Valley, and you're just getting basically government propaganda now. And people like Chille are dangerous. If Chille was in communist China, he would be on their social credit system, and he would not be able to leave his house. And that's what these progressives want for us. They want us to be locked up in a 15-minute city. And if anything that gets out of line or anything negative about the government or the politicians, they want to put us on lockdown. And that's exactly what they did to Chille. They just put him on lockdown. These administrative state junkies, the same people that would have fought on the side of the royalists and King George, now control the administrative state, in my humble opinion. And men like Chille need to be made a lesson of. And to me, I think that all of you should go back and watch the Logan's Run TV series on YouTube and tell me if you don't think that's how we are today. Because I think that it's shocking that full circle, here we are. It's almost like Logan's Run. Just give it a shot sometime. So we can see that, to me, Chille is a freedom fighter. And when you're a freedom fighter, you're going to make mistakes along the way. And you're going to do a lot of things right along the way. And in this case, I think Chille's done a lot of really smart things. The biggest issue that I have here is that there are variables that not even Chille or the best auditor or even the best lawyer can account for. And that is the arbitrary and capricious way that law enforcement officers enforce the law. If you have a good constitutional sheriff, for example, he'll probably just let you off with a warning, maybe, and have a beer with you later. But if you get one of these guys that's deep administrative state, like a DC cop, big time pro Leviathan, it's all about the government, baby. The people don't matter, especially if they, support the party they don't like, then that's just like warfare. But some sheriffs really take their oath seriously. Notice I say sheriff, Shire of the Reef. The municipal cops, as a general rule, have zero duty to protect you, look after you, or support you in any way, shape, or form. And we saw in the Rodney King riots precisely what happened. Only the armed Korean store owners were the ones to get out of there with limited amounts of damage compared to all else. And by the way, those weapons, those AR-15s that those Korean store owners were using to defend their property with, were subsequently, almost all of them were subsequently banned under the Roberti Roost so-called assault weapons ban. And all it really was is if you had an AR platform that had an engraving in the side that said Colt or Smith & Wesson, and it was on the registered list, that was now considered an assault weapon, and you could be arrested for a felony, even though it's identical in every way, shape, and form to other weapons that are not on the registered list, because they don't have a brand name. So it effectively just harmed all the big brands, and people started building them in the garage or buying uppers and lowers, 50% or whatever, making these things themselves. And give me a bunch of ones if you think I'm talking too much. And give me a bunch of twos if you want me to talk about something else. Anyways, what I was trying to share with you is you have an administrative state, and their philosophy is at odds with the philosophy of people like me, especially people who served in the military, veterans. We really love the Constitution. We love the ability to be able to thanks, Mikey B. We love the ability to be able to defend our families and the Constitution, and we take it really seriously. And when we see these weirdos that are in power in the current administration, like in charge of our kids and overseeing policy, we're just like crapping our pants. So anyways, let me see here. I think that you're right, King Andrew. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see ultimate tyranny in the near future. Yeah, and you see that in Great Britain, right? Like the regular British natives are forced to go to these Muslim indoctrination camps, and all this stuff going on over there. It's pretty crazy. Rodney Dangerfield. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Rodney Dangerfield. So I used to be Rodney Dangerfield's limo driver, and I used to take him to the MGM Grand, and he would put me up in the penthouse sometimes, and I'd get a bottle of Cristal up there, and I think he made about $500,000 per trip, and he would just do stand up, and then I'd drive him back in 2 days, the next day back to his condominium in Los Angeles. Beautiful condos decked out. And he had this beautiful wife. She was, I think, in her 40s, blonde Mormon girl, just dropped dead, and just really attentive to him, and a really sweet lady. And one time we were heading out to Nevada, and there was a big traffic jam, and we were at the very front of where the CHP had cordoned off and stopped all the traffic. And so all of a sudden I hear ding, ding, ding. It's Rodney getting out of the car. And of course, he's got his shirt opened up, this big scar down his chest from all the open heart surgeries and whatnot. And at first, the CHP officers reminded me of a Chille Decastro video. Like one guy's grabbing, like putting his hand down, like he's going to grab his gun, doing the whole it's hilarious, right? And his girl, his wife, or whoever she was, I don't know if they were married or not, but I think it was his wife. Never asked, never really wanted to even talk to him because I felt like, wow, I've got an American icon back here. I better not blow this contract. But man, she's going, get out there, get out there, man. So she's like telling me in the car. So I open the car door, and no sooner do I do that than Rodney's like pointing his finger at me to get back in the car. And all of a sudden, all those cops are surrounding Rodney, and he's writing them autographs. And then all of a sudden, like 2 minutes later, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rodney Dangerfield. Whoop, 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 whoop. They're doing the lights. All the cars parked like a red the CHP cars, and they give us an escort up to, I think it was to 215 from I think we were on the 10th. So, dude, I got to tell you guys, that was one of the coolest things ever in my life to get a CHP escort with the whoop, whoop, Mr. Rodney Dangerfield. So that's a cool story I can share with you guys. All right, so yeah, okay, guys. So look, I'm getting a little disappointed. I know I'm probably not the best host. The beginning of this video really sucked. I mean, as soon as I clicked on the video that I wanted to share with you guys, I lost everything on my screen. And then I went in panic mode to try to get everything back up. So for the first 2 minutes, it's garbage. Make sure to fast forward. Tell your friends not to watch the first few minutes. Tell Chille I did a really good job. So I come back on because I feel bad, like to delete lost channel. Brian can't do it all. He's got his own channel too. He's doing his best. They're doing a lot of shorts and editing stuff, cut stuff up. You guys need people on here who have a connection with Chille, and I meet them once a week. I wanted to share everything with you, about what's going on, so you can be put at ease and just know that we won't stop and we don't stop, and we are going to be moving forward. We are going to be moving forward with different projects. One of them is going to be his constitutional law board game. I know a lot of people were upset that got stopped because of what happened, but that's going to be huge. And so from what he's discussed with me about that, it's going to be a big hit, guys. And it'll be great to teach kids about how our court system evolved and how corporations were behind making sure these justices got appointed. And when you understand the political underpinnings of this country and how the incorporeal DC government, which is supposed to be limited to 10 miles square, eventually swallowed up the country like Pac-Man. And now you have these complete whack jobs in this current administration's cabinet directing our policies. And you see the way that they're abusing children. You see the way that families are having their children taken away by Child Protective Services if they support the Constitution or they want parental rights and the religious and sexual educations of their children. You're seeing that happening in real time. We're becoming just like communist China or Canada, thanks to what's going on at record warp speed. Over 20 million illegals have flooded across our borders, have no idea who these people are, changing the landscape of our country. They've never served in the military. They've never taken an oath to uphold the Constitution. They have no idea how valuable our freedoms are or how people like my father ended up dying for those freedoms. And we just see really, really bad treasonous things happening to our country. And so I'm really grateful thankful that I was able to come on the channel and be able to talk to you a little bit today. And I want you to support Chille. And so I'm a little disappointed because I'm looking at this fundraiser that we did. We got $100, guys. All right, there we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me because I'm donating my time. I bill out at about $500 an hour as a lawyer. And I'm donating my time because I really believe in this mission, guys. You got to understand something. You can criticize the man, you can talk trash, and then nobody is willing to do what he's doing. There are a couple of auditors out there that have come somewhat close, but Chille has really put the spotlight on police abuse and a lot of the bad things that are going on out there. I mean, we saw what happened in Ironton, a totally corrupt police force, ridiculous, nepotism, crazy stuff. I mean, this guy literally exposes evil. And you know for a fact that these guys do not want him out there. The political class, the administrative state, they do not want squeaky wheels like this guy. These are the same people that King didn't like. Remember that. Whose side do you think King George would have been on? Chille's side or the government side? It's kind of a stupid question. Give me a bunch of ones if you think that King George would have supported Chille. Give me a bunch of twos if you think that King George would have supported the administrative state, the great Leviathan. So twos if you think the king would have supported the cops, ones if you think that King George would have supported Chille. And then, by the way, this is sad for me to say this, but all these illegals that snuck across our border and are getting free everything with our tax money, they don't even know who the F King George is. And that's the problem. These people have no idea about the greatness of our country. All they know is they're being offered a free phone, free hotels, free everything for life, and that they'll be able to use the census to redistrict everything to the political party that brought them here with our tax dollars, forever altering, forever, our electoral system, forever. It'll never be the same again. So if you believe in the Second Amendment and the First Amendment, the same party who wanted to appoint a judge that said the First Amendment is hamstringing the government, there's going to be a lot more people like that on the bench. Don't think that you're going to have very many rights for very long when they're trying to use that same social credit system with their friends at Silicon Valley that they're already using in China, they're already using in Canada, right here in the United States. They're already trying to do it in California. Don't think that it's not going to happen unless we start supporting people like Chille. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make, guys. If you don't support freedom fighters like Chille, no one is going to be doing this because obviously I don't see any of you guys out there doing this. I went out there and did it years ago, and it's what inspired me mainly to become a lawyer. I got beat up over a parking ticket by a West Covina cop, total scumbag, piece of garbage, going through a divorce with his wife. And I ended up suing him for $30,000. So I was doing this before a lot of you guys were even born. And so when I saw Chille, it really inspired me a lot. Let me take a look. Give me a bunch of ones if you're happy with that $100. Give me a bunch of twos if you think it should be higher. Now I'm going to put in the GoFundMe link really quick. Again, in the sidebar. Now I also want you to take a look at the description of this video. If it's not already in there, after the video is over, I'll make sure to put the GoFundMe link in the description. So it looks like we've got about 260 people in the chat, guys. Yeah, go Mike Leland. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Let's get it higher. Let's try to. Is there anybody here who, can dig a little deep and maybe throw a couple $100 in here so I can at least go to Chille when I see him and say, look, we raised 300 in an hour. Our goal is 30,000. And then also, like Derek and all you guys, Derek Pettis, the law of the land is the true law, Marbury versus Madison. Well, so Marbury versus Madison, I think that's the case that says that all laws related to the Constitution are null and void. But one thing that I learned, having done the whole sovereign citizen thing, is that might be true, but who decides who the arbiter is of what's constitutional or not is generally going to be a court. And remember that judges, as a general rule, are going to be appointed by a very political individuals, and without a religious background of right and wrong, no feeling like the punishment of sin is death, which is how our original system was set up. Uh, the judges that are being appointed now, a lot of them are atheists and very far, like almost Marxist communists. And so Marxism and communism is diametrically opposed to natural law. So our whole country, our whole Bill of Rights, the whole basis of this beautiful Republican form of government we have in the United States, lowercase u, was based upon the concept of individual rights and liberty that John Locke was a proponent of. And so Thomas Jefferson and many of our other founders were big time John Locke fans. And Adam Smith, of course, and these other, the Scottish law, free thinkers who wanted to break off from the king. Those were the people who inspired the creation of this country and what they have in common. And of course, our lefties will say, well, we're deists. So, and that might be deists believe in God. They just believe that God created us and left. But so the idea was, even in our founding documents, that our rights come from a creator with uppercase C, which signifies deity. And so if your rights come from a creator, that means they didn't come from the government. And that's what progressives hate, because they want that control, because they believe all power comes through the barrel of a gun, because that's what Mao believed. That's their hero. And so because of that, we have a situation where if you elect a judge or you elect a lawyer, appoint a lawyer who doesn't care about the Constitution, doesn't care about the Bill of Rights, doesn't feel bound by honor that our rights come from a creator, to them that's just all nonsense. And so to them it's simple, just flood the country with illegals, make sure you get all the judges you want in power, and watch the Constitution disappear. And of course, we know with diversity and equity and inclusion thing that BlackRock is forcing on all the companies. And we know that BlackRock basically owns news media and the press. We know that they have a lot of power in making sure what judges get on the bench as a result. We see the degradation of our society happening in real time at rapid rocket speed. And so the only people that are out there right now who are actively exposing this, and there's very few, there's Press with Rancor, there's Chille, there are other guys that I don't want to mention because I think there's a bunch of beefs going on right now, and I don't want to get in the middle of beefs. But I just want to tell you that I appreciate all of you guys who are out there trying to hold public officials accountable. I really do think that it's super, super important to hold your public officials accountable. And if there's cops that are out there that can't handle being rousted and being told to F off and stuff, they should probably get another job. But beating up on someone who's engaged in First Amendment protected activity and coming up with these pretextual, stupid excuses to try to prevent him from filming, and then saying that, oh, we weren't trying to prevent you from filming. I mean, that's just what do they call that? Gaslighting. What's gaslighting? He's being gaslit. That's all that is. So just a bunch of gaslighting. So we've gone over an hour. Let me see if we've raised any more money for Chille. I'm a little disappointed, guys. I was hoping that I would do a better job. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at myself because I was hoping we'd do a better job on this. Let's see here real quick what we got. Let me just see if I can get it to go that way. There we go. Oh, we've got 140. Yes, man. Okay, so let's take a look. So, okay, here's what we got so far, guys. So we got more. We got. It looks like 20 minutes ago, Charles Phillips donated $100. Bruce R donated 20. Another anonymous person donated 20. Oh my God, Charles Phillips just donated $500. Are you freaking kidding me? Guys, you guys are awesome, man. This is so freaking badass. Hold on. This is really cool. Guys, this is awesome. Hold on. So we got Chille $500 plus 150 plus 20 plus 20 plus 100, guys. That is freaking badass. And it happens so fast that it's not even showing up in real time. So it says 140 right here, guys. Look. But if you go down here, it says 4 minutes ago, Charles Phillips dropped $500. Thank you so much, Charles. Hey, listen, anybody who's donated Chille money today, reach out to BZ Watchdog. I'll give you guys, every one of you, 20 minutes of free attorney time for any legal issue that is a California or Texas legal matter. If I don't know how to do it, I'll at least lead you in the right direction. But anybody who's done that, give you 20 minutes of free legal advice for California and Texas for helping out my friend Chille. I really, really, really appreciate it. Let me look at the sidebar here. So Mike, here, let's take a look here. The holographic line says, my contention is the 71 congressional enactment actually created, it did. There's no contention. That's exactly what happened, holographic mind. Look at this. Yes, Danelle Brown, $20. Oh, thank you so much. You guys rock. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, Melania says you aren't blocked here under. So Melania, I don't know what's going on. I think Melania reached out to me today on the Ask Michael Eline channel. And I know that initially I used a lot of Chille's old mods to try to help out because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Then I was getting all these complaints that people were being blocked, even guests were being blocked. So I turned off all the moderation, but I'm not a pro. But I made sure that Melania is not blocked. So Melania, please don't hold it against me. I would never intentionally block you. I don't see any reason why. You've always supported Chille, and you've always been a supporter of mine. Please forgive me if you think I had anything to do with it. There was nothing nefarious at all intended. My intention is to allow maximum speech. Let me just kind of give you guys a little rundown. So I believe in maximum speech. If you guys want to insult me, that's fine. But if you're gonna constantly spread lies, like this guy doesn't actually have a law license, well, that's a lie. And if you keep doing that, that just becomes disruptive. I'll definitely block people like that. Or if people are saying things that are like, I hope that this guy gets abused or something while he's locked up. I'm not going to allow that because he's my friend. So look, I'm not the government. I don't have a duty to protect your speech, but I'll do it because I believe in it. But like when you're doing stuff that's insulting and disruptive, that's not really speech. But as a general rule, I'm never going to block you. I would just tell my moderators to put you on a timeout and just don't act that way. Because if I came on your channel, I wouldn't hurl insults and stuff like that at you. I mean, I may have done that in the past, but as a general rule, I wouldn't expect you to accept me doing that. Let's put it that way, because it's basic respect, Now, so Melania, we had the same here. Okay, how is Chille doing? Okay, so that's a good question. That's really why I'm here, right? To talk about the dungeon. So first of all, I'll be honest with you. So far, the jailers have been absolutely kind and considerate. It's very difficult for Chille to get water. It's very difficult to see him lose all of his muscle mass and his strength, physical strength. But based upon his demeanor and his personality, the guy is a boss, man. I mean, he was upbeat, positive. He was way more upbeat and positive than I would have been in his situation, for sure. I mean, I would have been a mess. The guy he reminded me of like probably how I would expect a Marine or a Navy SEAL prisoner of war to behave. Upbeat, proving by his demeanor, by standing up straight with his chest out, that he was not going to let the jailers break him. But at the same token, to give the jailers credit, I did not see them in any way, shape, or form appear abusive, and they seemed to be somewhat respectful towards Chille, almost as if they realized that he's probably a VIP. And a lot of that has to do just with his demeanor. And I've said this before, because I've met with Chille several times. When Chille walks into a room, he literally sucks all of the energy out of that room. Literally. You can feel everybody's eyes on him. And of course, probably half of the cashiers and the younger people know who he is. They come up, delete laws, bro. But the other ones don't, like the older adults, but they're still enamored by his presence. And so there are very few people that have that command presence when they walk into a room. I know a lot of you guys probably hate his guts, but Barack Obama is one of those guys. When he walks into a room, he sucks the energy out of the room, for better or for worse. And then, of course, Donald Trump, same thing. Dynamic personality, sucks way more oxygen out of the room than Obama ever could have. And then Chille is in that class of people where but he's one of these people. He is a general rule, is not diplomatic, but by the time you talk with Chille, regardless of whether you're a cop, another auditor, or a lawyer who thought he was crazy, when you sit down and talk to him over some Korean barbecue or something, you're going to be delighted by him. And ultimately, he will have won you over. Not win over you, he will have won you over because he speaks with conviction. And my dad always told me, Mike, always be defined, because even if people hate you, they will still respect you. So remember that, guys, everybody in the sidebar, always be defined and be who you are, because even if people hate you, they will still respect you. And I'll be honest, I've met a lot of people that I hated, that I would let babysit my kids before these other people who are loved. So just think about that. Okay, thank you, Danelle Brown, again, another 20. Sorry about the typos in the last one. I love y'all here on TDLZ as well as you. Oh, thank you so much, Danelle. So what I would ask, by the way, if you guys do want to get some legal education and learn a little bit more about the law, or you have questions, that's why my channel is called Ask Michael Eline. And it's, hold on a minute. Let me see. So you can see, like, on my profile there, it says, let me see if I can point to it right there. So it's at Michael Eline. And if you go there, if you guys, click on my shorts in particular, you'll see that I have tutorials about, what is a tort, what is a duty, what is what is an assault, what is a battery, and I try to explain those things in less than a minute. So those are the basic things that I'm hoping that I can teach you guys, because I see a lot of auditors and cop watchers being very fast and loose with their understanding and interpretations of the law. And so my goal is to sort of teach you the basics so you'll be better armed and not sound dumb if you do have a confrontation with law enforcement or you go to court. And also, I would ask that you put in the comments on the videos that I do about Chille and whatnot, if you could put on the Michael Eline channel, the Ask Michael Eline channel on YouTube, in the comment sections, if you could put ideas of different types of podcast videos you'd like me to do in the future, because I'm going to have Brett Pike, who's an educator, who with Classical Learner, who writes books on homeschooling, and he's a historian. He talks about the history of Jekyll Island, our fiat currency system, the war the government has against the Amish, Mennonites. And then we have my other friend, Max Bonilla. He's the guy who follows Gavin Newsom around and confronts him about, like, why are you letting school teachers and doctors mutilate children? Do you have any apologies to make to the parents? And so these are the kind of guys I have on my channel, like true upstarts, true revolutionaries who believe in natural law and believe that the rights of parents supersede the rights of the state pretty much 99% of the time, and that our children are sacred, and that if you're a two-parent family, that there's like a 90% less likelihood that your sons and daughters are going to end up in jail. So it's a good thing to get the government out of the business of trying to rear our kids and sexualize them in kindergarten. So those are the kind of things that I have on my channel. I think it's really good to get an alternate point of view. Now, let me see here. Chille GoFundMe, yes. And I'm going to put the GoFundMe link again because I was able to sort of shorten it. And by the way, give me a bunch of ones if it's Chille, and just know that, like, pretty much since he has been in jail, I would say almost every day, myself and then later PC Watchdog and I have been doing a show dedicated to Chille and the auditor community, getting interviews from different auditors, trying to come up with ideas to avoid getting arrested while still getting good footage. And we've expanded into the post office with BZ Watchdog, talking about auditing and getting First Amendment, Freedom of Information Act requests, and his success that he's had getting Freedom of Information Act information and things of that nature, as well as the local document requests, private public information requests. So we're doing a lot of different things that a lot of other channels aren't doing. I'm breaking down case law. I'm also showing some of you guys that you're citing bad law, and you need to stop doing that. You need to learn how to shepherdize. You need to make sure that if you're citing a case, that it stands for the proposition that you think that it stands for. Just because you found it on Google doesn't mean that it has any application to your state. your jurisdiction, venue, or case. It might not even be valid law. It might be a DPUB, which is pretty much worthless. And so, and probably would get out of court if you tried to use it in a brief in support of your case. And so those are the things that I would like to teach you, because I didn't have anybody help me when me and my friends were getting arrested over traffic tickets or British West Indies license plates and stuff like that. So just so you know, like, I know exactly what you're going through, and they're done that. And I'm not a member of the English bar, regardless of how many times you want to tell me I am. I support the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and me being able to have this law license has enabled me to help many, many patriots get out of jail and save them from doing time. And so I consider it a badge of honor to be able to be a member of the bar, having become a lawyer without even having gone to have an undergrad or having gone to a traditional law school until after I was already an attorney and practicing law, getting a JD. I'm very proud of that accomplishment. And I think that I am in a very specially suited position to help people like you, because I've had several small businesses. I've had a background in sales and marketing. I've been a Marine, and I've also been involved in a lot of patriotic causes that some of you people weren't even born when I was engaged in. And so when I see people like Chille, I'm very impressed, and I want to support him. And so that's what I'm doing. That's why I don't charge money. That's why when he tries to send me money, I send it back, or I won't cash the check. You know, I'm not saying that will always be the case, but for right now, I want to help Chille raise money. And I've just been able to help him raise $830 because of you guys. Look at that. Look at that, guys. $830. Let's get up to $1,000 before I close off this GoFundMe today, guys. And I'm also going to tell you while I'm here that on May 18th, I have a nonprofit that I set up with the president of the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club, uh, originally in California, one of the chapters out there. And now I'm going to be in Houston, in Conroe, Texas, with the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club, the LMCI Originals Peacemaker chapter with Doogie. And he's a former Navy combat corpsman, as well as combat corpsman, as well as a Navy SEAL. And he's a friend of mine. And his chapter, the Peacemaker chapter, is supporting a nonprofit that I set up for my father called the Paul E. Line Memorial Ride. My father died of Agent Orange cancer from being exposed to Agent Orange in Vietnam. And I was also a Marine, but I was nowhere near as good the man my father was. But I set up this nonprofit called the Paul E. Line Memorial Ride. And I'm not even asking for you to donate money to the cause, but the cause is that I'm trying to get benefits extended to the wives of the fallen veterans who took care of their husbands, who passed away from Agent Orange and other cancers from toxic groundwater at El Toro Marine Corps Air Station, Tustin, El Toro Marine Corps Air Station, at Tustin MCASH for helicopter, as well as several Army bases and Air Force bases all throughout the West Coast, not just California. And also, so we've got El Toro and Camp Pendleton, because we know a lot of the air stations at Camp Pendleton, the groundwater totally got contaminated. Those chemicals that they use and the degreasers that they use cause cancer. And so we've got all these veterans who are getting PAC benefits on the East Coast, but not on the West Coast. So I am actively pursuing to draft a bill with help from several congressmen and senators to extend that legislation to cover the families on the West Coast. And I'm asking you guys support the Peacemaker chapter motorcycle club in Texas for helping me. And I ask that you come and attend the event and buy drinks and food from the vendors. I'm not even asking for you to give me money for that, just to come to the event. And if you have questions, you can reach out to BZ Watchdog, who's also in Texas, and he's going to help me coordinate so we can make sure to get you tickets and get you in, raffle tickets or whatever. I'm also trying to get Harley Davidson to raffle off a motorcycle. So I really want you guys to come out and support your veterans and your families. So let's get back to Chille. So right now, you guys, with your help, we've been able to raise $830 for Chille in less than a couple hours. So that really says a lot about Team DLZ and the people that care about Chille. And it appears to me as though you recognize that he is the face of Team DLZ. Like Chille Decastro is Elite Laws. And so to me, it was a real honor to be able to come on and be able to talk to y'all. And just share what happened at the dungeon with Chille, and to let you know that he appears to be really strong. He appears to be really motivated, and he does not look depressed. Every other word out of his mouth, "We don't stop, Michael. We don't stop, Michael. We don't stop. We keep going. We keep moving forward. If you don't like it, it's too bad. You know, they work for us. We got to go out. We got to hold them to it. We got to hold them to it. It's our rights. It's our rights, Michael. It's our rights. It's our rights we're fighting for. I'm fighting for these rights. It's like no one else is going to do it, Michael. Without me, they don't have a leader. They need me, Michael, and I'm going to fight for them." And he really does say that with conviction. And I know it's true. He really does believe it. And what's cool about this whole exercise, guys, is I can see that you all believe it too. And you know, we don't stop. That's right. We don't stop. And look, I was one of these guys who, when I first watched his videos with my wife, I was like, this guy's absolutely apeshit crazy. And I was watching him more and just kept showing up in my feed. And I just got this itch to watch him, you know, like, man, there's something about this guy. I can't quite put my finger on it. But man, I'm telling you, after a couple months, I was told, like, I don't care about all this craziness and the yelling and the cussing, because I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to rattle their cages, which he's allowed to do, which he should try and do. Because what's going to happen to your son or your daughter when, you know, some bad cop gets around them? We need to make them think that they're always being filmed. We need to make them always be fearful of doing something stupid. That's called holding the public servants accountable. Public servants are just that. They're there, they work for you. Unfortunately, SEIU and these big unions have now made the servants become the master with your tax dollars. And these politicians are beholden to all these government unions. And that's why we have this Leviathanic system. That's why they're trying to classify people who support the Constitution by people who are veterans, people who support the Bill of Rights, as potential violent domestic extremists. We know that on March 4th, Congress released their report that the FBI was illegally spying on American citizens using through bank mining financial data, and they were characterizing people who shopped at Cabela's, at Dick's Sporting Goods, as domestic violent extremists. If you're white, if you support legal immigration, you're a domestic violent extremist. So I did a video about that. It's on my channel. It says, "Can I sue the FBI for illegally spying on me and labeling me a domestic violent extremist?" It's a pretty good video. You know, those are the kind of things that I do. I kind of have fun with it. Nobody talks about it. The mainstream press, you know, for-profit media, they don't talk about it. But why would they, when the FBI and the CIA have revolving door employment arrangements with big tech, going back and forth from Facebook, from Google, back and forth? You know, what a great arrangement, right? They're not pulling warrants, illegal spying operations. Guys, we have some major problems in this country, and there's very few people even talking about it because they're all terrified they're going to get shadow banned, or they're going to lose their status on Facebook, they're going to lose their subscribers, you know, they're going to lose their clout. And that's all part of that social media, the social credit scoring system. We see it happening in real time with these big tech companies. They let you build up a couple million followers, then you say something wrong about their candidate, and then you lose all your followers. Or they'll put some BS fact check label up there that's just pure nonsense and say that your story's false when you know it's not. Oh my gosh, look at this. So we got Chuck P. Chuck P, thank you for the $5. Thank you for that's another donation in a way to Chille. But keep in mind, guys, that super chats are really cool, but the GoFundMe is going to provide money for his lawyer directly, and that's the idea. We want to get that case dismissed. I don't believe the filing deputy should have ever filed that case. I don't believe there was enough probable cause to charge Chille with anything other than pissing off some cops who didn't want to be bothered. Now let's look at the next one. Bob Smith, thank you, Bob. And by the way, Bob and Chuck, you know, if you guys are doing super chats, you can always feel free to ask a question or say something in the super chat, and I'll put it up on the screen and I'll promote it to the world. But I'm asking all of you people right now on the channel, we got about 230 of you. If a couple of you can try to give $20 here, $10 there, $50 there on his GoFundMe. I'm going to put it in the sidebar one more time. I mean, I was hoping I would have left this thing today with 30 grand for him, but I realized that the first part of the chat was terrible because I had some technical problems. But still, let's see what we've been able to do so far. Oh my gosh, $1,185. Are you freaking kidding me? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. That was awesome, guys. Thanks. And thanks, Bob, too, for the super chat. I love them. Let me see here. So I'm just looking at all the comments here. Refresh the GoFundMe. I did, man. It was dope, dude. That was sick. I'm going to read off the names of the donors, too. So all you guys deserve special recognition. So Brandy Swaney, $30. Thank you, Brandy. You're awesome. Obviously, Charles Phillips, top donation. That was sick. I think we should develop a special page. When I see Chille next time, I'm going to ask him. I think we should do like a special page on his website dedicated to the top donors who help. Because guys, when you're testing authority, you're going to get arrested. It's going to happen. And you're going to get falsely convicted sometimes. And sometimes you just don't stop. You got to appeal it. You got to keep going. You guys are the ultimate court. You've seen the videos. You saw the first video. The cop brought himself into the zone of danger in the first case so he could effectuate an arrest against Chille. And we can see that in Nevada, since he didn't get a trial by jury, what happened with the misdemeanor case in Nevada. And we have the same situation. Misdemeanor, Nevada, but we got a case with a far more favorable set of facts than the last one, in my opinion. Give me a bunch of ones if you think that there was even a dispute by the police in this case number 2 as to where the crime scene was. Give me a bunch of ones if you think that the cops were even confused about where the crime scene was. Tell me what you think. I'm giving it a bunch of ones because I think the cops were totally confused about where the crime scene was. Let me see if there's any other interesting comments here. Now, okay, Roger. So Alan Beck, he is my of counsel to my firm, and he is a Hawaii attorney. He's one of the best Second Amendment rights lawyers in the country, and he's also very good with First Amendment and some criminal issues involving civil rights. And these false Hawaii DUI arrests, this is something that we've been hearing about a lot in the last couple of months. And I would appreciate it if you could reach out through go to my channel at Michael Eline. You'll see a link to my website. Just reach out to me through the contact form there. I would like to talk to you more about this, perhaps do a show about it if you're willing to talk about it, and explore this more as a potential video that we could do. Let me, KT, thank you for putting up Chille's GoFundMe. I really appreciate you guys working with me too, because the first part of the video really sucked. That will never happen again. There was just a technical issue. As soon as I clicked on the very first video I wanted to show you, my whole screen evaporated, and I had to actually literally like open up my my browser again to try to restore things. So let me see here. Choose love, you angel. Yes, always choose love, guys. No touchy, copper. Yeah. See, no touchy there, copper. Yeah. See. Hey, Rodney. Hey, Mike. Hey, how you doing over there, buddy? All right. Hey. So Rodney, he used to have a sneaker toe, and he didn't like going to the airport, because people would always run up on him, and he'd always wear these like Hawaiian, not even Hawaiian, like those Cuban kind of shirts that like Castro would wear, like very Cuban style, but always unbuttoned, like cotton, and he didn't like being around people. He'd always get hit up at the airport. So the limo was the way to go for him. Plus, I think back then, the marijuana laws were a little different, like in Nevada. So in the back of a limo, I think it was better for him. But man, he was a cool dude, man. And I just always kept my mouth shut and just, yes, sir, no, sir, Mr. Dangerfield, sir. Escorted him into the liquor store so he'd go use the restroom when we got into Barstow. Really cool guy. Yeah, man. And he would sometimes he'd talk about Sam Kinison because he discovered Sam Kinison, and he would break out in tears, because I think Sam died in a head-on collision, I think, in Nevada, actually. And Sam was amazing. Oh, look at this. Chille, thanks, Chille. Okay, I met you. Who's next? Well, Chille V, I'll tell you something. Here's something else you guys could do. I'm going to put this in the sidebar again. This is the link to Chille's GoFundMe. Now, keep in mind, the super chats are badass. I love them because it definitely shows love. But a lot of that money gets shared with YouTube. But I still like it because it shows love, and he still does get some. But the GoFundMe thing, if you can I'm not saying that you have to, 'cause you already helped out today, Jilly, but like if you have friends or family or anybody who supports the First Amendment, or who just likes Chille's channel, who just wants to raise hell, or who really thinks, believes in the First, Second, Third, Fourth, whatever amendment, and they want a freedom fighter out there who's really advocating for them in a totally different way, then I ask that you would look in the sidebar and click on the GoFundMe link for Chille and help him raise some money so we can find a decent lawyer. And the goal behind finding this lawyer here is I want somebody for Chille because I'm not a Nevada attorney. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. But I'm a lawyer and I'm pretty smart, I think. And I would like to be able to help him find a lawyer who can negotiate the uncharging of this case. I do not believe that the filing deputy should have ever charged this case. I think that this case should be thrown out. And unfortunately, based upon the fact that we won't see a trial by jury, and we already have some history with Chille and the judges in this particular court, and whoever is responsible for the lack of love or the bad blood is irrelevant. The bottom line is it appears to exist. So I think the best approach is to try to get the prosecutor to move to have the case thrown out. I think that would be the honorable thing to do here based upon the evidence. You all saw in the video that Chille was not in a crime scene, and that they appear to have, some of the officers at least appear to have tried to make it into a crime scene as a pretext to be able to arrest Chille. But we also have all of Chille's video clearly showing that Chille had permissive entry, even though arguably he didn't have to have it. But because Chille is smarter than your average bear, and he's been down this road before, he built a record because that's what a good lawyer would do. You lay a foundation, you build evidence. And he knew that he had on film that he was allowed to be in that area. And there was even a dispute as to what the area was by all the different cops that were there. So there was no uniformity among decision with the police officers, and therefore there is no reasonable basis to have a beyond a reasonable doubt conviction, in my expert opinion. But that doesn't mean anything because I'm not a Nevada lawyer, and I wouldn't be able to tell you how it would go down in Nevada. But I could tell you as a general rule that in a typical criminal case, this is not the type of case that filing deputy should have brought charges on. And I think that we need to find a lawyer who will get Chille's video footage and evidence so it can be reviewed by a prosecutor. I don't believe all prosecutors are like political persecutors. I believe that if we get a good deputy district attorney, or I don't know what they call him in Nevada, but a good one to sit down with Chille's new lawyer, that they could look at the footage together and come up with an amicable resolution that would involve complete and total exoneration and dismissal against Chille. So that's what I think. And give me a bunch of ones if you agree with me that you think that that would be a good way to go on this case. Yeah, I agree with that too, Karen. He is the top dog, and the guy is really something. So, oh, look at this. We got another one, didn't we? Okay, we got 1999. That was Bob Smith. Okay, Bob, cool. All right, so you guys ready yet? Or I feel like Jerry Lewis. If any of you guys are a little older, remember like Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, they do those telethons. Jerry Lewis. Give me a bunch of ones if you remember Jerry Lewis and the telethons. We'd bounce around on one leg and get all crazy. Jerry Lewis was this really famous comedian back in the 50s and 60s. Short little Jewish guy. And he was a sidekick with Dean Martin in a lot of movies, and just really funny, full of energy. And he just did all these funny skits all the time. All right, we got a bunch of ones people remember. So right now we're going to get some, we're going to go and we're going to check to see who the donors are. We're going to go and take a look, guys, and see if we busted it. Oh, we already busted 1,000. So right now, guys, we are at 1,185. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's do it. Give me a bunch of ones if you think we're at 2,000 already. Give me a bunch of ones if you think we're at 2,000. Okay. And give me a bunch of twos if you think we're under 2,000. So let's see where we're at. If anybody's going to give us anything. Boycott Las Vegas. Thomas Rockhold thinks, okay, so Thomas thinks that we're over 2,000 already. Okay. I don't know about that, guys. I haven't refreshed it yet. Haven't refreshed it yet. Okay, guys ready? Guys ready? I don't see a whole lot of twos here. Actually, I do. Yeah, some people give me twos. So that tells me that a lot of you guys don't think we've hit 2 grand. I'd say there's more ones saying that we hit 2 grand already, but I don't know, guys. Let me take a look. Hold on. This is great. I'm having a good time. Hold on. Whoa, $1,235, guys. Not bad. Not bad. Making some money here. Trying to, because I'll be honest, when his lawyer sees that he's got an army of people out here helping him, he's going to know that he's not going to have to worry about getting his attorneys. So that'll be good. We just need to find a good one. All right, guys. So I think we're about ready to wrap it up. Unless any of you all have questions or comments you want me to address, or any more super chats, or unless somebody wants to donate something. Yeah, come on, Bruce. That's what I'm saying. And I'll stay on a few more minutes if you think we can squeeze a couple more bucks out. And I'm not complaining, guys. I mean, that's pretty impressive. See, let me put here in the sidebar what we got right now. Take a look at this, guys, because this is, to me, a really big deal. And it's a testament to someone who's been locked away for over a month now. I think it's been over a month. And he's still getting subscribers. He's getting more followers. He's getting more popular. All the negative stuff against him seems to be backfiring, making him more famous. And as we learn more about the players and the people who go against him and how a lot of these charges and things happening to him are going down, everything starts to look more political, and it just makes you wonder. So let me see here. Let's OTVO break collaboration. Chuck P, I see you there, buddy. Let me see. Virtue signaling. I don't know who that is. Karen. Let me see here. Oh, $5. We got a super sticker. Thanks. Thanks, AU79. AU79. Is that like an elemental chemical, AU79? Put in the comments, guys, if that's some kind of like on the element of chemical chart thing or whatever. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to give it one last shot before we wrap this up, guys. I'm getting tired. All right, here we go. All right, so it looks like we are at about $1,235. Hold on a minute. Let me just take a look at this, guys, because I want to give everybody love here if I can post it. It's possible. So what I did is I copied and pasted the you see that there? It's the list of people that they donated. And I'm super happy. I'm super grateful to all of you that you came and showed support for Chille and you gave me the time of day. Again, I apologize at the very beginning. There were some technical issues where I'd lost everything that I had saved and kind of panicked, but I tried to save it. These live streams sometimes can be rough. But at the end of the day, I think we were able to pull off a pretty decent fundraiser for Chille. We were able to walk away today with $1,235, and we all know that these videos get a lot of traction after they go down. So I'm pretty sure, guys, that he's going to by morning we're going to have 2,000 for him in there. And make sure to share his GoFundMe link. And I'm going to make sure that the GoFundMe link is in the actual description of this video. So unless anybody else has anything to say, is it okay that I close something for tonight, guys? I'm tired. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I had plastic surgery. I was too good looking. Yeah, so Joe Cool says that Chille, you look different. Well, I kind of have a little bit going on there with the vein. That's about all I was able to keep. I actually shortened myself a little bit and to sort of change my facial structure because there were just too many women coming after me, and I couldn't get any work done, and I had to carry a baseball bat around just to beat them off because there was just too many of them. And it's just almost like an attack of the zombies. So what I've done now is I've sort of changed myself to where I'm just like semi good looking, and to where I could still look attractive in front of the Delete Laws logo. But other than that, I'm going to give it one last roll because it's all about being in Vegas, right, guys? So we're going to just take one last look here to see what Chille. Okay, so I guess well, we've lost traffic. We're down to 214. So probably all the big the heavy hitters, the high rollers already walked out for the day, but we know that everybody's going to look at the video later. So let's go here. Oh yeah, guys, make sure to get a trifold too and a cop card. I carry a cop card everywhere I go, and I know that I can probably use it as like a ninja weapon. Like, have you ever seen those martial arts movies? Because it's indestructible, and that is very important when you're out there and you're like a SAS or a SBS or Delta guy, and you want to be swift, silent, and deadly, and you don't have anything else, but you have your cop card, and you have that cop card, and you know that all the major arteries, and you're really precise with your highly trained warrior. So those cop cards are actually better than you think, guys, if you're highly trained. And I think give me a bunch of ones if you think we should create a cop card fighting school where we can teach cop card martial arts, kind of like Krav Maga, but with a cop card. Now, let's see here. Oh, thanks. Somebody says that I'm adorable. Yeah, well, that was okay. So I appreciate it. And I also changed my voice a little bit. And that was hard I had to alter my voice and appearance because that was part of the whole new Delete Laws rebranding. But so I'm glad you noticed. I do look a little bit different, Joe Cool, but I did at least maintain a pair of glasses. They're not like the ones I normally have, but I think they're kind of cool. But what I can do now though is when I'm cop watching, they won't recognize me. So it's kind of like a ninja thing. They won't even know it's me. Bruce R. Okay, all you guys. Yes, Chille as instructor. All right. Let me. By the way, make sure to like and subscribe to Delete Laws. And also, here's the deal. Go to here's the deal. He's been helping Chille out a lot, and I really appreciate it when you help people who are like-minded. A lot of these people are busting their butts, and contrary to what people believe, you don't really make a whole lot of money doing these things. It's more like a labor of love. So any support that you can give people who donate their time is really appreciated. For me, I don't even watch TV anymore. I just watch YouTube and live streams. So I know for a fact that people that are free thinkers are not watching traditional news anymore. Give me a bunch of ones if you still, if you think, give me a bunch of twos if you still watch traditional news media a lot. Give me a bunch of ones if you don't trust traditional news media. Give me a bunch of zeros if you think traditional news media is good, because you're a zero if you do. Give it to me anyway. And let me see here. All right. Yeah, I love that. I miss Chille's live streams too, man. It was really cool, Kevin. But so I've been working all day, and I just wanted to close it out and give you guys some time and blow off some steam. I got to get back to reading these law books in a minute. But I do appreciate you all showing up, and it was really awesome. Please give me a lot of good love and say nice things to Chille if you know him, that I did a good job and I made the Delete Laws channel look good, because it was a really big deal for me to be able to come on here. I mean, come on, he's got over 500,000 subscribers, and my goal is to make him look good because he's allowing me an opportunity to talk about what I like and help him at the same time. So please let him know that I did a good job if you think I did. And if I did a bad job, just don't say anything. Let me just one more time. I'm going to check this thing because I am a gambler. Yes, we did it. So now we got up to. So we're gonna close out in a second, guys. So $1,270, guys. So let's put this into perspective. This is the first time any of you have ever seen me on Chille's channel. A lot of you are devotees, and you're probably starved to know about what's going on with them. So before I close this, for the ones who missed the beginning, I saw Chille the other day in jail, hung out with him for a while. He's in good spirits, positive. He's got a sense of humor about him, and he has some fresh ideas about leading an effort to segregate prisoners, keeping violent people away from the nonviolent and keeping the crazy people away from the normal people to avoid problems, because it's causing people to have PTSD. They're unable to prepare for their appearances and hearings. It's cruel and unusual punishment, and there has to be a more humane way. And I don't think that it's unreasonable for me or Chille to believe that to be true. And give me a bunch of ones if you think that that's true. And that is what Chille wanted me to share with you, and that he's okay, and that he desperately needs assistance to find a good Nevada criminal defense attorney who can help him negotiate an amicable resolution of this particular case, where there was a clear and present and obvious dispute over where the crime scene was, what the crime scene was, and what Chille's rights, duties, or obligations were, as well as the same goes with law enforcement personnel and the way that that was handled. Um, I personally feel that that was an improper arrest. It should not have happened, but you could tell that they were angry. But if you have a judiciary who sides with angry police instead of whether or not it was lawful or just, don't expect justice. And so that's why it's very important that we impress upon uh, the court with a good lawyer or a district attorney that this particular case, uh, a good lawyer is going to be arguing this and definitely will be getting reversed. That's the point I'm trying to make. You win cases by front loading them, by doing all your research up front, filing all the right motions, doing all the discovery, and having an arsenal of evidence and winning arguments. And that's how you win a case. So, anyways, that's all I have to say. I will look one last time, and $1,270, guys. Thank you so much for helping out Chille. I do appreciate it, and I'm going to go ahead and just give it one last little look. Look. All right. So, guys, thank you for coming. It's been an honor to have been able to host and be a guest host for the first time on Delete Laws. Thank you, Chille, for this opportunity to be able to help you and other people who want to hold public officials accountable, which is a commendable and honorable goal. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save. Make sure to add my channel at Michael Eline. It's right here. Make sure to subscribe to my channel at Michael Eline and subscribe. If you have any legal issues that are outside of Texas or California, I may be able to help you find somebody. But just try to reach out to me through BZ Watchdog or something like that. And make sure to save this video. And that's pretty much all I have to say, other than Semper Fi, do or die.